I'm going to talk a little bit about boredom eating and snacking. So, there are many of us who like to eat when we're not hungry. I say us because that's me. Sometimes we get bored. Sometimes we just want to do something different. For me, a lot of the times that I snack is work avoidance. I need to pick up a new project. I need to start filming a new video here. And instead of just jumping right in, I want to do something else with my brain. And so I'm like, what's in the fridge? Let's just see if there's something different than was there earlier. Or I just want something else to do. I'm bored. I want to taste something. So it's really great to address the idea of why am I eating, but also sometimes recognize that it's not a terrible thing to eat something when you're not hungry, and you're probably going to do it. So what should you have around so that when you are grabbing food outside of a hunger cue, what is it going to be? Especially if you know you're going to do it, especially if you're just starting the idea of not doing it as much, you need to have some things that are safe for you to have that don't blow up your food plan. So some things that I do, and most of the things that I talk to you about here are the things that I do because that's all I know. So, or sometimes I will give you examples that my other clients and people in my coaching groups have mentioned or that they do that are awesome, great ideas. So first of all, the most filling thing that you can eat that isn't necessarily fun, but is great for mindless eating would be crunchy green vegetables. I know, that's so exciting, right? You think, no, crunchy crackers, crunchy Doritos. Well, those things are very caloric and they're carbs and they're empty. They're nutritionally void. So you think about something you can eat if you want that crunch. So celery, cucumbers. Some people really, really like raw snap peas. I don't. I like to steam those. But those are ideas for some green vegetables. Now, if you're logging your food, you don't have to log green vegetables. You can, there are some calories in them, but the fiber content in green vegetables so high that it basically negates the calories. So you actually don't need to track them if you don't want to be entering them. I consider them free foods. I eat as much as I want of any kind of a green vegetable. So lettuce, spinach, green beans, snow peas, snap peas, Brussels sprouts, asparagus, did I see green beans? I really love green beans. Celery, when you want something crunchy, celery is super crunchy. And a lot of these vegetables, okay, I'm busy. I'm not always going to stop and clean them and then put them in a bowl and slice them. So if you're not incredibly budget conscious or tight, I will buy like the packages of pre-sliced celery sticks because I don't like to clean celery. If I buy celery and put it in the fridge, chances are it's going to die there and rot and turn to mush. I'm being very honest with myself when I'm at the store. If I buy the celery, what's the chances that in 2 weeks it's just going in the trash versus the chances it's going to get cleaned, chopped into pieces, and put into my belly? So if this is $2.50 and it's going in the trash, this bag of chopped up, ready to eat celery is $3, but this I'm going to eat. Which one is actually a better value? For me, it's going to be the pre-washed chopped celery sticks. So you have to make those decisions yourself. But when you really zoom out and say, I'm going to be honest here, am I going to clean these veggies? Yes or no? Then actually one becomes a terrible value and one becomes a decent value. So celery sticks. I also love cucumbers. They have a nice little crunch. Now, if you can't stand the idea of eating just green vegetables with nothing on them, think about some low-calorie things you can do. So often I will buy really low-calorie salad dressing, like Bolt House is a great brand. Really low in calorie. I will measure it out. You can go crazy with salad dressings. Those calories do add up. But I'll measure them out into a little cup and I'll dip my veggies into some low-calorie salad dressing. Also things like hummus, or I'm really into this avocado salsa. So it's green salsa mixed with a little guacamole. So it's, I think, 20 calories for a tablespoon. So it's got a little bit of fat in it, but it's the flavor of salsa and guacamole. And I'll put that on celery or carrot chips. Now, carrots do have a little bit of carb, little natural sugar. So that's not a green vegetable. I would log those. Now, I still think you should eat them. You should eat a wide variety of vegetables in your diet. But when you're thinking about freebies, things to eat that don't have any real bad impact on your calorie count, but that are really good for you, the green ones are the freebies. Other ones that I really like, I like radishes. Radishes have a nice crunch. They can be spicy. I'll just put a little salt on those. But whatever way that you want to get those green veggies in, go ahead and do it. Now, if you're okay with having some calories in those snacks, you can think about things like the 100 calorie pack items. So they sell carbs like popcorn or chips or things like that in a 100 calorie pack. So if you are snacking on those things and they're part of your food plan and you're okay with spending 100 calories on a salty snack, consider buying those prepackaged items in those small calorie allotments so that you're not opening a big bag and like going to town and then using all of your calories. Another idea for mindless eating, if you're kind of hungry, I would say to set a timer and see if you can get to your next meal, but if not, make it a protein snack. So if you like shrimp, keeping some shrimp thawed in the fridge for a day or two to have some shrimp cocktail is a good idea. Tuna packets that can be 70 calories and 15 grams of protein, just grab one of those, pop some tuna in your mouth, those types of things. Otherwise, this is not a healthy recommendation, but it's something that I do. I eat sugar-free Jell-O. So you can buy the cups of sugar-free Jell-O. They're 5 calories. It's chemicals, okay? Let's call a spade a spade. But sometimes if I want something that tastes a little sweet, I'll have a cup of sugar-free Jell-O. You can also obviously make a package of sugar-free Jell-O to have that on hand. So just think of things that are very low calorie that you can have around for those mindless eating moments. Make a list of things that you are going to have that are okay, things that have calories, things that don't, and then keep those accessible to you. It doesn't do you any good to say, I can eat as much celery as I want if there's none in the house. So stock up on it. Have it handy. Make a batch of sugar-free Jell-O or have those handy. Pick up the shrimp, put some in the fridge. Get yourself ready, especially if you're working from home or you're going to be home or you're going to be on the go. Get those little snacks ready to go so that they're available. And keep the other stuff out of your house. If you know that when you're bored, you're going to reach for chips or you're going to reach for a cupcake, don't have chips and cupcakes in your house. If other people that you live with want those things, have them put them somewhere that only they know where they are. Get them away from you. Why do you want to look at something you can't have or you don't want or you're not choosing? Keep it out of your line of sight. Ask the people in your house to say, hey, I'm not eating these snacks. You are whatever. Your food plan is your food plan. I would really love if you put them in a drawer or in a cupboard or in your room or somewhere I don't have to look at them. Or say, you know what, we don't keep these things in our house. Make a decision on that one and keep them out of reach regardless. But when you're mindlessly eating, you're boredom eating, just make sure that you've got, I recommend the celery. Make sure you've got things that you can have that you feel good about that don't throw you off your plan.